Hello, I'm Peggy Jones, and we're going to go through Solving Systems of Equations lesson plan points. The first thing that will be covered, the content standards. The content standards, basically, students will be able to solve a system of equations using three different methods: graphing, substitution, and elimination. The ISTE-NET standards that will be covered in general will be students will be able to demonstrate creative thinking and develop innovative products using technology. Students will use digital media in creating their project, and they will do critical thinking in order to plan their project. The specific technologies that will be used during this unit: a word processor will be used. The end project that students will create will require them to type a short story that includes a system of equations problem, so they will use a word processor to do that. We will also use a spreadsheet during the unit, as we have a lesson on how to solve a system in a spreadsheet. We will use Padlet.com for collaboration between student and teacher and student. Padlet will be used for questions that students may have over content that they're not understanding, a question about their project, or maybe I've got this for my project, where do I need to go from here? Students can answer other students, and the teacher will monitor the collaboration and correct any misconceptions between the students. Presentation software of students' choice and Web 2.0 applications of students' choice will be used to present their project. They can do a podcast, a screencast. They can use Draw software, any presentation software that they want to present their project using. And of course, we'll use the Smartboard during instruction of the unit and also when they're presenting their projects. My Algebra 1 class is a co-taught classroom, so it has the regular education teacher and special education teacher in the class at all times. So we'll make differentiation in several ways. For the end of unit project, the students will be able to choose which methods of technology they want to use to illustrate the different methods of solving equations. Students will also be able to choose their partner to work with on completing the project. One teacher will always be available during the project work time to help guide students. We will half the class, and half of the class will be working on the new lesson, while the other half will be working on their project. And so that'll be a low student to teacher ratio for working on the project. Diverse learners will receive scaffolding throughout the project from the teacher. Also, high-level learners will be encouraged to reach for higher levels of creativity during the project. Students will be assessed at the beginning and all the way through to the end of the unit. We will give a pretest. The pretest will evaluate that students can evaluate by plugging in values for variables and solving them, and also that they will be able to rewrite an equation from standard form to slope-intercept form, or vice versa. The students will also be assessed at the end of the unit by written exam, and the exam will have multiple choice questions in addition to free response questions to make sure that they understand the steps in solving a system of equations. Students will illustrate their giftedness in using technology during the unit project. They will write a short story that involves a couple of problems that can be solved by systems of equations. The student will show that how the systems are solved using graphing method, using substitution method, and using elimination. They will be graded on the project through a rubric: creativity category, accuracy, technology, and their presentation. The students will present their project to the class when we are done. And hopefully students that are still lacking understanding may pick up some pointers from their peers. Students will also be assessed formatively as we're going through to make corrections as we are teaching the lessons. We'll take short quizzes and do remediation, and we will do collaboration in the Padlet.com to check for understanding. My reflection on this unit: overall, I feel that it went very well. Since my classes are made up from high students, not gifted, but high students, all the way through special education students, I find that when I assign my students a project like this, the with a project entailed like this one has at the end, that the high level students want to do a minimum level project and the lower students are willing to take a 0. So to prevent this, I would like to build in an element that has parent involvement where they know what's going on with the project. And if a student doesn't have a lot of parent involvement, maybe involve a coach or other mentor. Otherwise, I think the unit went well.